Today, we're going to go over how to create a jagged line, a wavy line, a dashed line, and a dotted line. Then we're going to expand them and ungroup them so we can cut them in half, trim them, and it will not distort the line segment of what we created. So let's get started. First, head on over to your fill and stroke swatches. For our stroke, we would like to choose a different color than what we have here. Currently, I have white selected. Please select a darker color so you can see what you're doing. I selected black. Come on over to the fill, click on it, and hit no fill. Now we'll head up to the pen tool, we'll click on it, and we'll hold shift down, we'll click on our artboard, and this creates a perfect horizontal. Click again and release. Now, we could hit Command Shift A to deselect, but we're just going to hit Escape because we still want our line segment selected. So, now we're going to create the jagged effect on our line. Go up to Effect in the main menu bar, go to Distort and Transform, go to Zigzag, and click. We're going to first increase the amount of ridges per segment. These steps do not matter as they are interchangeable. Also, make sure you have the preview button selected so you can see this happening in real time. Then we're going to come on over and change the size of our ridged line or jagged line. Right now we have corner selected, so it will appear jagged as so. If we hit smooth, it will create a wavy line. Let's click the corner to create our jagged line. Okay, great. Now let's do it one more time. Pen tool, shift, hold it down, click, release your click, keep holding shift, and click again. Gently click. Okay, and release. And then hit Escape because we still want our line segment selected. Go to Effect, Distort and Transform, Zigzag, and let's change it to Smooth this time. And we're going to increase it to about 9 and increase the size. Okay, that looks good to me. And click OK. Now, as you can see, when I go to the Selection tool and I select either one of my lines, it's still appearing as a line, even though it looks like a waved line or a jagged line. How we can tell this is if we come over to our eraser tool and we try to draw through our line, it will then go back to the algorithm that the computer knows for how many ridges per line segment and create that effect. So how we go about avoiding this is like so. First, let's hit Command Z to undo. Select our segment, go to Object, Expand Appearance. Go to Object again, Expand. Keep these two checked, Fill and Stroke. Click OK. Then you can either Control-click on the path and ungroup, or you can go to Object, Ungroup. This is not selected right now because I've already ungrouped it. Okay, great. Now, when we go, we're going to deselect it, Command-Shift-A, and now when we go to draw our eraser tool through, it will act as two independent lines. We can tell this because when we go to our selection tool and we click on it, and then we click on this portion of the line, we can move it around freely and it doesn't distort our line. This is how you create a jagged and wavy line. Now let's do a dotted or dashed line. Command-Shift-A to deselect everything. We're on our pen tool. We click, hold Shift down to get a perfect horizontal. Click again and release. Hit Escape. Still have that line segment selected, and I didn't pay attention this time, so we need to make sure that our stroke is still on. So go to Stroke, make sure it's on. Go to Fill and make sure it's off. Okay, great. And now we're going to go over to the Stroke panel and change the line weight so we can see it. We're going to go to Cap, Corner, Align Stroke, and then we're going to go to Dashed Line. Depending on these intervals will create the appearance of your dashed line. For example, right now I have 15, 8, 15, 8, 15, 8. If I change this to 30, 10, 30, let's do something different, 20, 10, 30, and then 10, it will create a more unique dashed line with the dashes being different lengths because of the numbers we typed in. Now, let's create a dotted line. We'll go back to our pen tool, hit Command-Shift-A, go to the artboard, click, hold Shift down to create our perfect horizontal, click again, release. Now, because we have these already selected, it is creating this effect. So I'm going to hit Escape, and we can come in and now change this. So for Cap, we're going to hit Round instead. And we're going to hit Round Joint. And Align Stroke Center is fine. To create a circle, we're going to go to 1, 10, 1, 10, and 1. As you can see, it created a circular line for us. To make this thicker, we would just go and increase our stroke weight. If we increase our stroke weight, we may have to change our interval. The dotted line changes depending on what you type in here. This is all based on your personal preference, so please play around to see with which dotted lines you prefer. I'm going to lower this a little bit because I want to see some more space in between. And now I'm going to go to my selection tool. I'm going to select this line and draw through it. It is a little bit difficult to tell, but this line also was altered when I went through it. The same with this one. As you can see that slight movement that just happened, if you can see it again, this is because the same reason as prior with the line segment and the algorithm. So we're going to go to Command-Shift-Z, Command-Shift-Z to undo some of this. We're going to make sure our line is selected, and we're going to go to Object, Expand, make sure these are selected, click OK, and then Object, Ungroup. Now, when we use our eraser tool, I'm going to deselect Command-Shift-A so we can see, and I erase through. My line does not change, and they're acting as independent lines. For example, if I select this, I can move it. They are almost completely independent, where I could even move, I need to zoom in, just one dot at a time if I'd like to, as you can see. So make sure when you select, you are selecting all of them. This ends our tutorial on how to create a jagged line, a wavy line, a dashed line, and a dotted line, and then expand and ungroup them to act as independent lines. Thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial.